and welcome to North American Ag Spotlight. I'm Chrissy Wozniak. My guests today are from Woodbury, Pennsylvania, Dr. Jennifer Kauf, an associate veterinarian at Dairyside Veterinary Services, and Dr. Adam Kauf, an animal care evaluator for the farm program, dairy nutritionist, and is also a purebred Angus cow-calf operator. Welcome, guys, and thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Chrissy.
Thank you.
So can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your background?
Sure. I am a large animal veterinarian. I would actually like to consider myself mostly a bovine veterinarian. I love cows, both dairy and beef, and I have been working as a large animal veterinarian for 15 years in the Bedford-Blair County area. We service about 220 active dairy farms, ranging in size from 40 cows to almost 3,000 cows.
Wow.
And I also work with beef cattle and some small ruminants and horses and pigs and sometimes even backyard chickens. Our practice is a very busy practice. We offer all kinds of services, including your standard surgery and reproduction and medicine, but we also love to teach and educate clients.
Right.
And so this has been the majority of my time is spent doing this job, but I also work with my husband, Adam, on our farm here. We have 20 head of registered Angus cow-calf pairs, and we like to sell breeding bulls and replacement heifers to other people. So in addition to that, we also have 2 children, and that keeps us pretty busy.
Yes, sounds like.
I personally have a lifetime in the cattle industry since my first 4-H project as a child. Doctorate in animal science, spent a decade in animal and dairy nutrition, specifically on the farms. Have gotten involved with doing animal care evaluations for the farm program, as well as serving on boards of directors for the Pennsylvania Cattlemen's Association and the Pennsylvania Beef Council. So involved a lot of producer education on that end.
Oh, that's great. And so what made you both specialize? Like, what was that decision to say that you want to work with dairy and beef?
Well, so my story was a little bit different. I actually did not grow up on a farm, but I was introduced to agriculture during my 4 years at the Penn State University. And I really enjoyed working with the animals there. And then the summer between college and vet school, I had the opportunity to be an intern at a large dairy farm. And it was the first time in my life I just could not wait to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get covered in manure.
Right.
I knew at that time that if I was willing to do that, then this certainly was a calling. I really enjoyed everything that I learned about dairy and actually changed from an equine minor to a dairy focus. Yeah.
And then what?
And
you were born
my
into it, right?
background is, my background's with beef cattle since my first 4-H projects at 9 years of age. Undergraduate degrees in animal science, moved back into graduate degrees in animal science where I was working in lactation physiology. So my first real exposure to dairy cattle in that area. And then when we moved here, there was an opportunity to get into the dairy nutrition field. And so I've had a good bit of time on the dairy farms and enjoy working with dairy farmers.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. So I know you're involved with the Livestock Trust Institute. Can you tell me what that is?
The Livestock Trust Institute is a training program, a very comprehensive training program that focuses on teaching people how to work with their animals in a safe and efficient manner. There are multiple modules that help the people work with their animals.
So it is a program to help train people how to work with their animals. It's not just in the dairy industry, but we've been involved on the beef sides where cattle are a little more reactive than dairy cattle are, and the potential for injury there is a little on the higher side. So there's definitely value in training beef producers to handle their cattle and to keep everybody, employees, friends, and animals safe.
Right. And so how did you become associated with Dr. Don Hoagland?
We actually hosted trainings a couple years ago, along with Pennsylvania Beef Council,
Oh, wow.
one on our farm with beef producers and on one of Dr. Jen's client farms with dairy producers. The actual hands-on training on how to move animals efficiently and safely.
Mhm. And so what do you think that dairy farmers appreciate the most about Livestock Trust Education Series?
What we've seen is, particularly in young stock, and as you move forward to the older stock animals, moving more calmly, more efficiently, going where you want them to go, and with less issues of animals trying to escape, trying to go through people.
Mhm. That's
Keeps
good.
everybody, people and animals safer.
Right. Yeah.
I think another important consideration would be the fact that on today's dairies, the employees are not coming from a farm background like they used to.
Mhm.
So we're drawing from people that may have no farm experience, no animals experience at all, and may even have language barriers. So it's difficult to teach someone how to properly move animals without some type of constructive program. I think a lot of the dairies have relied on just telling someone what to do or just having them follow along for a little while, but they haven't really had a very consistent way of conveying how to properly move these animals. And these are large animals. I mean, the average dairy cow is 1,500 pounds, maybe 1,600 pounds, right? And to have that large of an animal around you, moving them can be a dangerous activity. And they're moving to and from the parlor all day long, sometimes 3 times a day. And it's really important to be able to do that very calmly, very efficiently, very safely. And it's a natural skill, I believe, in our dairy farmers. It's very inherent because they've always been doing it. But
Right.
people that are coming to the farm now, they don't necessarily have those skills. And there needs to be a way to properly teach them.
And it's something that takes practice. It's a skill that needs to be taught. We can read about it, we can show videos all day long, but until you actually are in working with cattle, it doesn't click.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And what are you seeing on dairy farms in terms of livestock handling techniques?
Lifetime producers are more adept and handle their animals a little better.
Yeah.
Younger ones are just coming home, maybe didn't have much responsibility as youngsters on the farm, maybe not so much. Hired hands can run the whole gamut, from fresh hires that don't have a clue what they're doing and are fairly dangerous, to long-time trusted employees that are good. It's
Right.
what we're looking to do is help bring everybody to that level that everybody can handle the animals well, keep everybody safe, keep everybody productive, keep the animals productive. Because stress is going to impact production as well as safety.
Right. And Jennifer, you I understand that you do surveys as well on the farms that you visit, that you work with.
So in order to see what the needs were within our industry, as I was visiting my farms for their monthly or weekly visits, I simply asked them, where is it on your farm that you have the greatest difficulty in moving your animals, or what creates the most anxiety and stress for you when it comes to working with your animals? And this thought, of course, came to my mind as we were trying to encourage 100 cattle to work themselves into the headlocks in preparation for herd check. So sometimes that can be a little bit of a stressful experience if the cattle aren't interested in locking up when we need to have them locked up.
Right.
So, I began asking the clients, what is it that you could use help with? What are the areas in which you see animals balking or not moving well for you? And sometimes the answer was moving in and out of the parlor, lining up properly inside of the parlor. Sometimes it was moving in the alleys, You have animals that would want to run, which quickly becomes a very unsafe situation. Other times it would be moving into a foot trimming chute or into another chute for a medical purpose that I might need to do with them, or locking up into headlocks. So these are all different areas that the clients pinpointed that could be problematic.
Wow.
And yeah.
Oh, so there's definitely a need for making these, this safer, right?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
People get excited about watching shows like Dr. Pol, where they wrangle animals and throw ropes and do
Right.
the old cowboy way of handling animals. But truth of the matter is that's not safe. That's not effective. And it's not efficient either. It's very time consuming. And as a veterinarian, those are not situations that I want to find myself in.
Mhm.
And so personally, not only does a program that we would, not only does the training that Livestock Trust provide help the farmer, but it also helps other industry professionals working with the farmers.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's important. Yeah. And I know we touched on employees a little bit before, but it's important for staff on dairy farms to understand how to keep the cows calm while moving them or separating them from the herd. How do you recommend dairy farmers ensure that their employees have the necessary training?
They really need to enroll them in a program.
Yeah.
Or you can actually sit down and do some formal training.
Yeah.
And have the ability to practice those skills.
Yeah. Well worth your time and efforts to get involved with it.
Yeah, anything that makes a difficult job easier is well worth the investment.
Right.
And safety, we all know that agriculture is one of the most dangerous occupations that there is. And working with animals is a very dangerous occupation. I can't recall off the top of my head how many people actually die each year in agricultural and animal agricultural related accidents. But it almost doesn't matter what the number is, because if it's someone that is close to you or your employee, then that loss is just, it's difficult to work around that loss. So the safety is of utmost importance. And this is a great way to accomplish it. It's repeatable. It's proven. And it's very easy.
Right. Yeah, that's excellent. So one more question, you guys can take turns. Why do you do what you do? And what do you want your legacy in the industry to be?
It's my lifetime involved with cattle and with people that have cattle. They're my people. I care about them. I care about their business. I spend a lot of volunteer work in our industry organizations trying to help move the industry forward. And this is a way to help move things forward.
Right. That's awesome.
So as a veterinarian, I'm very passionate about working in an industry that feeds the world. Right. It is wonderful to be part of this. But I feel like as a lasting legacy, I want to know that I have done something to better the industry for everyone, the people working in it, as well as the animals themselves.
Yeah, that's a really good point. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. And thanks to everybody watching or listening. And if you want to learn more, you can go to northamericanag.com and look for the Livestock Trust there. And all the links will be provided in the notes below as well. So thanks so much and have a great day.
Thank you, Chrissy.
Thank you.